I played the Monster Hunter beta on PC, and a single moment happened that made me question everything I knew about the series. Like many of you, I don't have a lot of time left for gaming in my day-to-day life, but this brand new update to the game's entire formula actually really helps fix that problem for me in a way I never expected. Monster Hunter has become more open world, and the mechanic I'm referring to is that you can find other players when you are running around the environment, or at least it feels like you can. You don't need to wait to queue up with 3 other hunters, and you can join another hunter's ongoing quest on the fly as you run around the world map. But I'm going to explain why this changes the game completely, improves its accessibility, and will make Monster Hunter the greatest game ever made. Although this information was known shortly before the beta came out, I stumbled upon it by accident, and this is how a majority of new players will find the feature. I went into the game and I had hunted several monsters already, but as I was fighting a monster several hours into my gameplay, something new happened. Another player ran up to the monster and started wailing on it on my behalf. At first, I thought it was one of those AI companions I had mentioned at Gamescom, but after noticing their name was written in an Asian language, I knew it had to be another real human. This meant, to my surprise, that I was in a world running around with other players that whole time, or at least so it made me feel. You can run up to an elder dragon or just catch bugs, and other players can walk up to you, interact with you, or drag a monster to you. There are no limits to what is possible in a certain sense. You inhabit this environment with other players at all times. I'm sure you can turn it off though, and I believe you can do that in the base camp. Later on, however, I discovered that it doesn't quite work that way, even though it can feel like it at times. The game is made up of 100 player lobbies. Although I suspect you can search a wider user base for specific quests, this allows you to interact more closely with these 100 players, even though only 16 are visible in the base camp. But why does this matter? Well, now Monster Hunter feels like a true living, breathing environment and enables way more ways to play the game. In Dark Souls, you can just let other players summon you to take down difficult bosses. Now in Monster Hunter Wilds, you can do the same kind of thing, easily joining ongoing quests for monsters that are already being hunted in the world, or having random allies join your hunt while you're in the middle of something, just through the game's natural systems. Unless you turn it off manually, you can just be running around fighting a Rajang, or hopefully a Lagicrus makes a return, and another player can just join the quest, jump in, run to you, and help you fight that monster. Now you can turn this off, but I for one really like the idea of people spontaneously joining me on my journey.
Hello, do you need help?
It doesn't feel as isolating anymore, whereas previously you had to wait in a queue for other people who might want to join you on a specific quest for a specific monster, but now you can just run around aimlessly and hunt anything in your sights, and other people can see this and join your quest. For example, maybe you're going for the Rathalos armor set. You jump into one of the locales where Rathalos appear often, and the minute you see one appear on the map, you run up to it and start hunting. 3 other people also wanted to hunt it, and you took it down within 10 minutes. What happens next is the most exciting part though. Instead of all 4 of you being returned to some reward screen and getting sent back to a lobby to wait out for everyone to ready up by the big door, one of you runs off and the other 3 follow. As you are now partied up, you can all move on to the next Rathalos together, running around the map, killing monsters at free will. You just eliminated over 10 minutes of wasted time and people constantly leaving and joining, but now when they do it, it doesn't interrupt your game. And you just continued on your journey, interacting with a whole host of different hunters with various skill expression, different weapons and experiences, and you're all hunting together. Before, the game was tailored only to hardcore fans and newcomers that joined for Monster Hunter World, but now this new system is so familiar and easy to understand that it will attract a player base 10 times larger. If you thought Monster Hunter World went mainstream with 334,000 player peak, then Monster Hunter Wilds will surprise you as it breaks every single gaming record. Not to even mention that it has crossplay enabled. Not only has the game fixed every single quality of life issue I've experienced in past Monster Hunter titles, it's more accessible, has crossplay access, and it's infinitely more fun than World ever was. And World was still a masterpiece in its own right. These open world lobbies feel so free and exciting, and I'm certain they're going to change everything. I hope you learned something today. Please like and subscribe for more Monster Hunter content.